I kept a secret from my wife for 12 years, and it could have changed everything. I, 30M, kept a secret from my wife, 31F, for our entire relationship about her ex, 32M. My wife, let's call her Wendy, and I have been together for 12 years, married for almost 10. Our relationship has been great. We have our moments of tension, but learn to approach all problems as a team. She is my everything. But I have kept a pretty crucial secret from her our entire relationship. You see, before we got together, she was in a 5-year relationship with her ex, let's call him James. Their relationship had been on the rocks for the better part of a year due to him growing distant, becoming emotionally unavailable, and pressuring her physically/sexually. Wendy's and my friendship grew around the same time as we spent more time together thanks to working in the same building and being involved in the same volunteer projects. I realized I was developing feelings for her on a Friday in early fall. She was still in a relationship, so I did what I thought was best. I told her about my feelings, explained that I did not want to get in the way of her relationship, and offered to distance myself temporarily or permanently. She was understanding and said that she was not going to do anything to hurt her relationship. She agreed we probably shouldn't talk as much if at all. We had a group trip planned for that Sunday to go visit a friend at her college. The group consisted of myself, Wendy, and James, and we were going to visit Wendy's best friend Allie. Wendy insisted the trip would be fine since we were all going to drive together. Then, she and I could talk next week about our friendship and what sort of break we needed to take. What I didn't know was that Wendy was struggling with her own emotions. Like I said, her relationship had been struggling for quite some time. She had already tried to break up with James at the beginning of the summer, only agreeing to give him another chance after he promised to change, which he hadn't done. She later admitted to me that she had grown increasingly uncomfortable being around James with how much he'd been pressuring her. The trip came and I was miserable. Watching Wendy and James be a couple at dinner, at the mall, and the movie we went to, it all made me realize my feelings were too strong to continue any sort of friendship with her. I was seriously considering asking my uncle if I could come work for him 4 hours away when Wendy texted me the 7 words that changed my life. We're more than just friends, aren't we? As it turned out, Wendy had spent the whole day realizing she really didn't love James anymore and did have feelings for me. She told me that all day she wished she was there with just me, holding my hands at the mall, sharing popcorn with me at the movie, letting me pay for her dinner, and stealing my fries. She told me she was going to break up with James before anything else. She and I could talk later about how we wanted to approach our relationship. We rejoined our friends so we could take Allie back to her dorm. Wendy had to use the restroom. I felt too awkward to be with James and Allie, so I claimed a headache and just sat in the hallway waiting. While sitting there, I overheard the thing I've kept secret all this time. Allie asked James if he had thought about proposing to Wendy. And James replied that he had already talked to Wendy's dad and was going to go look at rings soon. He was planning to propose that Christmas. I was shocked and a little heartbroken. I was worried that if I told Wendy, she wouldn't end up breaking up with James and would dump me instead. At the same time, I didn't think it was right for her to make a major relationship decision without all the facts. She came back from the restroom not long afterwards. While she was still out of James and Allie's sight, she smiled at me, a gorgeous, love-filled smile that absolutely ruined me. I felt like I had been waiting all my life for that kind of smile. I decided then and there not to tell her. I justified my decision by telling myself she was unhappy and I was just helping her not be manipulated into staying in a bad relationship. That night, she broke up with James. I guess he also didn't tell her he was going to propose soon. She and I took a 6-month break where we didn't see each other at all to give her time to work through the breakup. We celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary this summer. I've never told her or anyone else what I overheard. As far as I know, the only other people who know are James and Allie, and I don't even think they know that I heard them. Ironically, I ended up working with James a few years later and we actually got along quite well. But then he made some questionable life choices, got into some fights with his parents when they wouldn't support him financially, and basically vanished. We haven't seen him in years. We still see Allie multiple times a week and she is still one of our best friends. Allie has since said James wasn't a good guy looking back and that Wendy dodged a bullet by dumping him and marrying me. Even Wendy's dad, who loved James and was furious when Wendy broke up with him, has come around and said I was the better choice. And yet, I still feel haunted by the secret. I can't help but wonder if Wendy would have made a different choice if I had told her. Was I the one that ultimately manipulated her? I'm thinking of telling her, but I'm not sure if I should. Would that do any good? We've been together for 12 years and have 3, soon to be 4, children together. I don't think she would ever leave me for James, but I don't know if I would ruin her trust in me.